book lovers, it's Jenny at Julia Baby Jen's Reading Room, and this is my book haul for October 7th.
The city lights have left me empty. They've replaced the stars that used to shine so bright.
Okay, I have a really big book haul this week. It's a little bit late because I decided not to record on Saturday because I knew I was going shopping yesterday, so it seemed kind of silly to do it on Saturday. So I thought I'm just going to do it on Monday after I go shopping on Sunday because I knew there was probably going to be books I was going to buy, and I was right. So I got some awesome deals. I'm going to start with ebooks. I got the Grimm Diaries prequels, volumes 1 through 6 by Cameron Jace. I've been looking at this for a long time. It's 99 cents on Amazon. I just decided to grab it. And then I also saw, I hadn't seen this yet, Alice in Deadland, the Alice in Deadland trilogy by May Dar. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but that's also 99 cents right now, and I thought, what the heck, try that. And then a daily deal, Kindle daily deal they had one day was Resurrection by Arwen Ellis Dayton, which is an adult sci-fi novel, and it looked really good, so I grabbed it. And then I pre-ordered Finding Cinderella by Colleen Hoover. That is a free right now. It's a novella, and you can pre-order it on Amazon. And then today's daily deal was the Drake Chronicles by Alexandra Harvey, which is a vampire series, kind of a lighter vampire series, and I've read the first book and it was alright. And I have the second book, so I went ahead and downloaded the third book since it was on sale. And then the last ebook I bought that was not on sale, but still a decent price, is The Human by Kiri Taylor, because I needed to read that. I've been wanting to buy it for a long time, I just haven't. And I already started reading it, and so far it's really good. I'm almost done with it. So those were my ebooks I got. Now, onto the physical books, and there are a lot. Mainly because I hit a heck of a deal at Goodwill. I actually went to 2 different Goodwills. Went to the one in Iowa Falls where I found most of these books, and I couldn't believe I found this many books because it's not a very big Goodwill, but for some reason they had tons of books that I wanted or that I was happy to grab. And then I went shopping in Ames yesterday, and I dropped off an entire van load of stuff that was out of my storage shed and out of my closet and out of the kids' closets. Stuff that I have just been piling up. Some of it I sold at a garage sale, but I still had a ton left, and I just decided I did not want to store all that stuff anymore because I wanted, my storage shed is just, our storage shed is like the size of a 1-car garage. It's huge, and it's finished, and it has electricity and all that. But we use it for storage. You could use it for a garage, but where it's located, it's easier for storage. And it's packed full of stuff. And it was very disorganized. So I spent a good chunk of the day on Saturday organizing it. I had a lot of stuff in paper boxes from moving. When we moved so fast, we just dumped everything into, boxes and didn't really sort it. And then when we got here, the stuff that we didn't need right away, we threw back there. Well, I haven't really thrown it since March. So I decided before winter hits, I really should. And we had a beautiful day on Saturday, so I did. Got rid of all the paper boxes. Like I said, I cleaned a bunch of stuff out, put it in my van. The other stuff I redid into plastic totes so it won't get damaged. And organized everything, labeled everything, that kind of thing. I got about half done. There's still several totes to go through, but most of the main stuff it's pretty clean in there now, except for one section, which is all Daryl's stuff that he has to go through because I don't know. Most of his stuff is electronics and stuff like that, and tools and guy stuff, and I would have no idea what should go where or how he wants to organize it, so he needs to do that. But I got a lot of my stuff done. So yay, so I dropped all that off at Goodwill, and then we went shopping, and I got tons of stuff there, and I found a couple more books. Alright, so let's go over the books now. For Goodwill, I'm going to show the paperbacks and children's books first, and those are 90 cents at Goodwill. So these were really good deals. These are the kind of books that, some of these I've read, I just read from the library, and I wouldn't necessarily go out and buy a brand new copy, but it's nice to have a copy of it, and when they're only 90 cents, it's worth it. First one I have is The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini, which I love this book. I've read it a long time ago from the library, and it's just a fabulous, fabulous book. So I was really happy to find it at Goodwill. I need to take the sticker off. This is originally from Target, but it's in really good shape, so I was really happy to grab that. I already have a copy of this one. This is Inkheart by Cornelia Funk, one of my favorite children's books authors, and I really love this book. But my copy, the binding, I should have grabbed it to show you, but the binding is horrible on it. My kids read it, and it's just all broken, the entire spine. It covers all beat up. So I happened to find a copy that's in pretty decent shape, so I replaced my crappy copy with a better copy. This one I was so thrilled to get. The Secret of the Old Clock by Carolyn King. This is the very first Nancy Drew novel that was written. I love Nancy Drew. I was fascinated with Nancy Drew mysteries when I was a kid, about middle school age. The series I read was the newer, at the time when I was a kid, the newer contemporary series. These were all written, I think, in the 80s. And this one I happened to find at a used bookstore at $7.25. So this was actually the series that I read, and I read, I think, almost all of them. I just loved mysteries, and I still do, and I love Nancy Drew. So I kind of have this nostalgic factor with it. And anytime I find one, if it's inexpensive, I tend to grab it. Now, my used bookstore, I did not pay anything for these because I would use my book credit for trading in books. So if they're free, you grabbed them. And then I also have up on my shelf there those 4 yellow books. Those are from the original first series too. They redid the additions into those, and anytime I find one of those, I grab it. Well, I haven't found the first one yet. This one is actually the 80th anniversary limited edition, but I just really loved it. It's a hardback without a jacket, which I love those. So yeah, this is really awesome. I was so happy to find this book, and it's in like near perfect condition. The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest by Stieg Larsson. I don't have this one yet, and this was like brand new copy. I have the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the first one, and the second one, The Girl Who Played with Fire, on my Nook. I bought them as ebooks a while ago. I think they were on sale or something. And I have not read them. The first one I got to about 40% and I stopped reading it. I was actually kind of bored with it, and I was really having trouble getting through it. And so I put it down. And I've been meaning to go back and finish it, and I haven't. And so many people tell me that I would really, really, really love it if I finished it. You just have to get through it because of the mystery factor to it, that I would really love it. And I probably would. I just have to get through it. So I just went ahead and grabbed the third one. I don't know if I'll ever get to it, but it's still a really cool looking book. So it was worth it. Another Cornelia Funk, The Thief Lord. I have read this book and I loved it. This was actually, I don't know if I like it more than Inkheart, but it's very different from Inkheart, and it's kind of almost like a historical fiction mystery to it. It takes place in Venice. So it's just really, really cool children's book, and I love it. And again, a near perfect copy. Cross My Heart and Hope to Spy by Ally Carter. This is the second book in the Gallagher Girls series, and I have not read this series, but I want to. I love her other series, The High Society, a lot. It has a different name, the series, but I call it The High Society. But I really, really love that series, and I wasn't really interested in reading this one. It seemed almost too girlish, childish to me. But she wrote a novella that where the main characters of The High Society and the main characters of Gallagher Girls end up together at this party, and it's a story where they're all mashed together and they're having to save this party from robbery. And so I really loved the characters from Gallagher Girls in it. I thought it was great. So I thought, oh, I probably should read this series too, because the characters sound amazing. So I just happened to see this as the second book, and so I grabbed it. This book I grabbed solely on the cover. I never heard of it, although when I got home I looked it up. Drift House, The First Voyage by Dale Peck, children's book, and I just love, 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 love the cover, and it's like brand new. I looked it up. There's a sequel. It doesn't have a huge high rating on Goodreads, but it doesn't have a bad rating. It is a children's book, so you never quite know what people will rate those. So I don't know if I'll even get a chance to read it, but I just really, really, really love the cover, so I grabbed it. This one is one of those Oprah-style books that has been everywhere and I haven't read it yet. The Tiger's Wife, and I don't know how to pronounce the author's name. Tia Obrecht? Something like that. So yeah, this book has always looked interesting to me, so yeah, I grabbed it. And another Oprah-style book, Olive Kitteridge by Elizabeth Strout, another one that has been on my to-read forever. Chick Lit, Jennifer Weiner, Good in Bed. You gotta have good chick lit occasionally. And then Barbara Kingsolver, The Prodigal Summer, which I have not read, and I've read most of her books, and I love her books, so this one I have not read yet, so I was happy to grab that. And that was it for my 90-cent deals, so what great deals. These were the hardbacks that I found. Hardbacks at Goodwill are $1.50, so still really cheap. A Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole. This book I've heard so many times talked about, and I've never really been that interested to read it, but I saw it and thought, what the heck. And I really like this edition. I really like this edition of it. I think it's really, really nice edition. But it's basically it's a prize-winning novel. It's appeared in the 80s, but it was written much earlier than that. It appeared after actually the author committed suicide, and it appeared after the fact. So it was published, and it's kind of a humorous satire that takes place in New Orleans. So it looks really interesting. I probably would really like it. So I grabbed it. And Popped by Carol Higgins Clark. I love Carol Higgins Clark. She writes mysteries, the Regan O'Reilly series, and Regan is a private investigator, and these are all her case files, and they're really, really funny, suspenseful mysteries. So yeah, I really, really enjoy them. I've read almost all of them. This one I've read, but I only have one of her books. Most of them I checked out from the library. This is actually one of my favorite covers, so I was really happy to find this. And Multiple Blessings, the Goslings. I really did love this TV show, although it drove me crazy at the same time. It was like kind of like a train wreck where you can't stop watching it as far as their marriage went. And I'm not really big fans of John and Kate per se. I don't know. I'm not too judgmental about it, but I'm not really huge fans of them. But I do think their story is really interesting, and I can only imagine having 8 small children. I had 3, and that was plenty. And actually, as far as the whole beginning part of the series where everybody was like complaining about how mean they were to each other, I completely related to that, because that's exactly how Daryl and I were when our kids were little. I can't even tell you how miserable it is to have a bunch of small children, you know, all small like that. I mean, the sleep deprivation off of it is like, any parent can tell you the sleep deprivation is horrible, but when you've got twins who need to be fed every 2 hours all the time, 24 hours a day for the first 3 months of their life, and yeah, I was staying at home with them full time, and Daryl was working 50 hours a week and helping me with the babies. He was up all night too, because there's 2 of them, so it took both of us. And then we had a 15-month-old on top of it. So it wasn't even like I could really sleep very much during the day, because I had a 15-month-old that needed care too. And she didn't sleep all day. She took a nap. But so yeah, I can tell you that a lot of it is a blur, because we were so tired. And also kind of, I mean, really, I didn't even hardly eat that much when they were small, mainly money reasons, and also just, I was too darn tired. I didn't care. So, I mean, we were like on survival mode only, and I wish I remembered more of it better. I that part of my life kind of bothers me, because it's like people talk about, oh, they were so cute, and I have pictures and everything, but it's like I don't remember a lot of it when they were really small, which is unfortunate. But anyway, Daryl and I were exactly like that to each other. In fact, I think we were worse. We were not civil to each other, and it was all survival mode. But I don't think either one of us was really, when we got snipped at each other or whatever, or yelled at each other, it was only like in that moment that we even thought about it. 2 minutes later, we're not even remembering that we did that to each other, because we're so busy taking care of these children and trying to get through life that it just didn't really hit us. Of course, we outgrew it. I mean, they got older and we stopped treating each other like that because we got sleep again and became normal people again, and we still loved each other. So we came out of it fine. But I can only imagine with 8 small children, it's no wonder that the divorce rate is so high for multiples. I can tell you for a fact it's not easy to raise multiples. And I can only imagine with 8 small children. But anyway, off the topic, I did want to read this book, and it was at Goodwill, so I grabbed it. It has lots of pictures, and it's basically the story of how their first, when she was pregnant with the 6, and then their first year or 2 with them when they were little. And then A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. The other book of his that I really love, and I've read this one too, and this one was hardback, so I was even happier. So yeah, another great addition to my bookshelves. And this last one, I was just thrilled to get. Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. I have been wanting to read this for so long, and to find it on Goodwill in hardback, brand new condition, was amazing to me. I was so thrilled. I could not believe I found this. I read Libba Bray's The Diviners, and I loved that book. That's a historical fiction. This is more of a contemporary survival story. This is about 50 beauty queens who are on their way to a beauty pageant to compete in, and the plane goes down and they all end up on an island together, on this deserted island. So it sounds really interesting, and I know lots of booktubers who have recommended it, so I really do want to read it. So I was thrilled to get it. So that was my thrift store deals that I got, and I got some great ones. I got Jane by April Lindner in the mail. This was a book trade, and I was thrilled to get this book. I read her other book that she released earlier this year, Catherine, early in the year, and that one is a modern retelling of the story Wuthering Heights, and I loved that book. Catherine was so good. I really, really enjoyed it. So I saw that she'd written another one previously, Jane, and so I was really interested to read it, so I'm happy I have it. This is a modern day retelling of Jane Eyre. So, and I have actually not read either Jane Eyre or Wuthering Heights, so one of these days I will read those. I think that's crazy to me that I haven't read those 2 classics, because I've read so many other classics. I don't know why I did not read those, but I will someday. So yeah, I was thrilled to get this. And then Red Hill by Jamie McGuire. I found this at Walmart, and it was $12 paperback, so I thought I would grab it. It was on my to-read list anyway. I loved Beautiful Disaster and Walking Disaster. I thought those were really good books. This one is a more like an NA style, but this is a zombie dystopian. So I love zombie dystopians, so I was like, yay, win-win. I love the author, I love her NA books, and a zombie dystopian book. So I thought it was well worth it to try it. And this book I was really happy to get. I ordered it from BAM, Online Books A Million. More Than This by Patrick Ness. Yay! Some friends of mine are going to read this. I actually have not read the Chaos Walking trilogy yet, which is crazy, but I haven't. I did read A Monster Calls last month, and I loved it. So he has a new book out, More Than This, so I really wanted to read it. And it was about $13.50 online, and I get free shipping on BAM. So I went ahead and grabbed it, and I'm really glad I bought the actual book, not the ebook, because it's a really cool book. I just love it. Got your little door. That is just so cool. I love books that do that. And it's a hardback without a jacket, which I really, really, really love those. And I just really love it. I think it's a cool book. So I'm excited to read this. And then yesterday, like I said, I went shopping. I went shopping with my daughter, my 16-year-old daughter. Next week is homecoming, and there was some things she needed. We already got her dressed, but she just needed some shoes and accessories, and she needed stuff for homecoming week. She wanted to get that spray hair stuff to spray her hair and dress up and do all that fun stuff that you do for homecoming week. So I took her shopping and we were there. We just had a fun day. And we actually stopped at Route 21. We always stop there when we go to Ames. It's one of our favorite stores ever. And if you have a Route 21, you know what I'm talking about. They are just the most awesome store. They have such fun, trendy, cool clothes. Normal clothes too, but they're so inexpensive. But we always go to their clearance racks and find great deals. Well, yesterday they had like a $3 clearance rack, and I mean it wasn't like a, you know, sometimes you see those and there's only a few things on it. It was packed. It was a huge rack of clothes, and we got so much stuff. And then we found accessories rack that was $1. So we walked out of there. I bought a pair of jeans, a shirt, a belt, and she bought a dress, 2 pairs of jeans, shorts, leggings, and a top, I think, and headbands and a belt. $25 for all of that, which I just could not believe it. I was like, what? So, but one of the things I got that I have to show off because it's book related, although I guess it's movie related too, I got a City of Bones t-shirt for $3. And this is the one I got. Cool, huh? I really love this one. I love the black and white thing on it. I think it's cool. I normally don't go that much into movie t-shirts, especially with the actors on it, but I really liked this one. I thought this one was really cool. Only one of this kind left. They had other different kinds that were other colors or other, that just looked too teenagerish, but I really like this one. So yeah, I was really happy to get that. My lighting is weird right now. I don't know what's going on. I think the sun hasn't changed. I don't know why my lighting is doing that, so I'm sorry. And then the last stop we did yesterday was BAM. I went to the store. I had another $5 coupon, and I went in for a specific book, which I did get. But I did find some deals while I was there. I was due. I got The Gathering by Kelly Armstrong. This is a prequel to her Summoning, or the Darkest Powers trilogy, I guess it's called. And I've read the first 2 in that trilogy. I have not read the last book, although I do have it. And I really did like it. I haven't read the last book, but I like what I've read so far. And since this was a deal for $4, I went ahead and picked it up because I know probably eventually I will want to read. There's 2 of these. And then this one's been on my to-read forever. Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. It was on sale for $5, so I grabbed that. And occasionally they have like a big stack of old library books that they sell. I don't sure how they get these, but I found one. Joyce Carol Oates, My Sister, My Love, which I don't even really know exactly what this book is about. I haven't even really heard of it, but Joyce Carol Oates is one of my favorite authors. I will read anything she writes, so I was happy to grab this. It was $3. It's from the Arlington Heights Memorial Library. So yeah, not sure. She's a very prolific author. I have a couple other hers on my shelves that I haven't read that I need to, but my favorite of hers, and one of my favorite books of all time, is Foxfire. If you have not read that, I really recommend it. It's a great book if you're into YA, because that's kind of what it's written for. It's written for a YA audience, but also it could be an adult audience too. It's a really good book, and I know they made an original movie a while ago, and they're remaking another one, and I can't wait for the new movie, but it is a really good book. She's a very prolific author, and I will read anything she writes, and one day I'll read all her books, but they're not like quick reads. They're deep books. So, but yeah, I was happy to grab that for $3. And the final book I got was the book that I had gone into the bookstore for and spent my $5 coupon on. The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. Yay! So happy I grabbed this one. This one's been out for a couple of weeks, but I hadn't gotten a chance to get to it yet. I really did love The Raven Boys, and I'm excited to read the sequel. So, awesome. So that's my book haul for this week, which is just nuts. I just seem to, it's funny how that goes. I went through such a dry streak of books for months there, and now all of a sudden I'm just, books coming out of my ears, and One of the reasons I went shopping yesterday was to get another bookshelf for my bedroom. I have a spot in my room where I can put one more shelf. It's not a very big spot, but it could be taller, but it can't be real wide. So I'm looking for something that will hold books. It doesn't have to necessarily be a bookshelf. It can just be a shelf of whatever, but that would hold books. And so I was looking around. I don't really want to spend a lot of money on one, but I couldn't find anything that I wanted, so bummer. I'll keep looking. But that is the main reason why I went shopping, for Allison's homecoming stuff and that, and then to drop off that Goodwill stuff. And we got a whole bunch of other stuff that I wasn't even looking for, which is what always happens. But I am thrilled with my books. Leave me any comments if you've read any of these or what you thought. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.